Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is B from Kongs R Us, and welcome to a Friday evening. We are going to be modding our Ridge Racer Arcade1up cabinet today using a very special encoder. Now, I got to give a big shout out to the Buy Stuff store guys. These guys have been innovating so much in the home arcade modding space. They've been coming up with third-party modifications to your At Games products, your Arcade1up products, and they're just thinking, hey, wouldn't it be cool if... And then these guys are creating it, whether it's woodworking, something brand new like a custom control deck, something you can just slip onto your product to be able to use a yoke, extra risers for the riser that I've used for my other cabinets before. But the latest and greatest invention that these guys have been pulling off is a specialized encoder board for the Ridge Racer and Outrun Arcade1up cabinets. And so what's the big deal about this? Why is this so significant? And I've been talking about this on my channel for the last couple of weeks because when I got wind that this was happening, I started bugging the guys. I was messaging them and saying, hey, I heard you have a little encoder. They've been doing sneak little peeks and saying, hey, we're developing our own custom PCB to do this. And if you follow my channel for a while, I was actually one of the first people to mod and Outrun Arcade1up to be able to plug it via USB into a PC, into something else for it to play. And so from there, the rest is history. I was doing mods for that particular cabinet. I did a full-on tutorial. There was a specialized encoder board I was using called a GeekBuy that has since been discontinued, and it's super hard to find. So this is the answer to a lot of people that have been wanting to do that mod. But first off, I want to say hello to the chat. Hello. I know a lot of people might have just come over from Super Game Room Dudes. It didn't send you. What? It didn't send you, P-Dubs? You said you were going to send people here from the Dub Show. Oh, there it goes. I think I see more people dropping in. But if it is, how the heck did you end up here? I don't know, Nostalgia. You might be hacking somebody's stuff to be able to get all the people that were watching Super Game Room Dudes to the channel. So if you are here from Super Game Room Dudes, type in SGRD in the chat so I know that you're here because we're going to continue the fun on a Friday night. Thank you so much, Dubs, Nostalgia, Michael B., and Detroit Love for hosting a really good show and telling people throughout the show that we were going to be doing this mod tonight. So it's going to be a fun time. We have a couple of guests backstage. I'm going to bring them on in a little bit, and we're going to do some live modding. If you've never watched my channel to do a live modding session, I try to be as accurate as possible. I try not to break things as much as I can. Man, there's a lot of SGRD people here. And sometimes I tend to two-man tailor things. I might have been known to electrocute myself here or there, but I promise I will do my best to do this right and not burn out the board. And hopefully by the end of this particular stream, we will have a successfully modded Ridge Racer that right now has the stock Arcade1up games on it. Right now, this is a stock Ridge Racer. I've not done a lot of content on this, but we will be plugging this wheel into this encoder board, plugging in a PC, which I already have set up, and then we're going to be playing some other games. So put into the chat what racing games you might like to see played on a Ridge Racer. I know there's been some videos out there about playing Cruisin USA, some Daytona, some Mario Kart, some Fast and the Furious. Put into the chat what you might be interested in seeing. And once we get to the gameplay phase of it, and I am hoping it's only going to take, I'm going to give myself a time limit, about like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I think we should be done with the mod. I think it should be faster than that. It's just me blabbing right now and hopefully getting through enough content here. So we have some Forza. People want to see Forza, some Spy Hunter. People want to see some Mario Kart DX. Oh, you want to see Outrun. Oh, Buy Stuff Arcades is here, by the way. If you Buy Stuff Arcades, I know you said you couldn't make it and join in, but if you could make it, I think people will want to see from you. I think it's really awesome. Oh, Dragon's Lair is really loud. I do have another guest backstage I'm going to bring on first to talk a little bit about this mod because he kind of already did it on his channel earlier today. His name is Joel Gorski, aka Mabe.
What's up, guys?
Joel?
How you
What's
doing?
going on? Good to see you, man. A lot of people are putting in games that they want to see. Have you played every single one of these games on your cabinet or a racing build? Is this something that you're familiar with, playing all these games on some modified racing
Every
cabinet?
single thing that's being named off right now runs. Outrun 2, Super GT, Hot Pursuit, Spy Hunter. It all runs, no matter what. Rush 2049. It all runs, man. All of it.
All right. So people that don't know who you are, give a quick intro to Joel Retro Lizard.
I'm Retro Lizard. I own Retro Lizard's custom arcades. I build custom arcade cabinets. I do the Buy Stuff arcade racing cabinet for the plug and play deliveries for the customers. I do lots of stuff. I took over the Star Wars mods for B while he's in retirement.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, people have been asking me about that. So if you do want that mod, I know a guy. So this is Joel's website. So you do have a website. It's Retro Lizards Arcade. If you like to buy stuff, cabinets, and you want one that's already fully built, talk about your service that's different than what Buy Stuff is doing. So they're selling the shell for everything, but you're taking it one step above, right? So if people want a really done up Daytona, what's this option that I see here on your website?
Right. So Buy Stuff, they have their own kits. They use the Android boxes that you can do a plug and play kit with them too, when there's shells that you can buy.
Mhm.
With me, I only do computers. So when you order a racing full-size arcade for me, like B's showing right now, that comes with a full-on PC on the inside of it, Thrustmaster steering wheel, pedals, Logitech shifter, Vizio 2.1 sound system, and I have a 4K version which runs a 3060 Ti, and then I also
Nice.
have a 1080p version that runs the 1050 Ti or the 1650, depending on which one has the better price at the time of purchasing.
Oh, look at you with all your
Mine
different.
comes with, it's advertised right now. I think I have 150 games I advertise on it, but it's really 190 racing only games. So I've
Nice.
been kind of being very picky with the playlist. I originally started off with, I just wanted to be an arcade racer. I didn't want to
Mhm.
put any console games on it. I didn't want to put any Sims on it. There
Mhm.
started to be a little bit of demand for it, a lot of requests. So I decided to add a bunch of those games to it also. So I'm picking and choosing at the console games because not all console games play very well with the steering
Agree.
wheel. Like
Agree. Yeah,
PS1 Gran Turismo doesn't play very good at all with the steering wheel, even if you
it's
put it to an
terrible.
analog DualShock control, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm real picky when it comes to what games I'm putting on there, but yeah, I love those. And we got linked. I have a linked Daytona build that is
Mhm.
coming up. I'm just waiting on the shells coming in from Buy Stuff so I can do that. But I have
Nice.
linked the racers already on my own to make sure that it all worked and it was kosher.
So there it is, linked racing cabinets. It is something that I had started covering on my channel. I started doing my own, testing between a linked cabinet and my Star Wars cabinet. I was working with the different modems to be able to get it working. So it's really fun once you get it up and going, but you could have some pre-built ones. And the reason why I stopped and paused in that content, a lot of people have been asking me, when are you going to start doing your linked racing content, Sam? So I had a vision because while two Daytona cabinets like this look beautiful and nice, it does take up a lot of space. I think sit
Yeah.
down racers are pretty big, and these are pretty big machines. And I was like, do I have enough real estate for that? So I do have a special custom Buy Stuff Arcades racing setup, the base and the seats, but I have a custom screen that I've been working on and I've been trying to get built, and soon it'll happen. And then my dream was to do a link cabinet with that, with the sit down Star Wars cockpit. So that's going to be like my link setup once I get it going. It'll be fun. But yeah, definitely check out Retro Lizard. So, all right, tell me about this. So we did the Buy Stuff encoder, you, me, and this guy named Quack Lee. If you're watching, you better get your ass in here at some point because I invited him to come on
Watching.
the show.
Come on,
Uh,
Quack, get in here.
yeah, so between you, me, and Quack, we have been modding for a while now, several years, and the Buy Stuff guys have trusted us to see if we can put their encoder board through the test. And so for people asking, when can I get this? When can I get this magical board? I believe soon. I think I would say these are what pre-production versions
Yeah.
that are not quite the exact same versions that are going to be out there. But very soon, as we go through the testing, that's why I'm here to do a live modding session to see. Again, I've not plugged it in. You've already done it, to see how easy it is compared to my previous experience of using a Geek Pie, and then seeing the compatibility once you plug it into a PC. I think those are my goals for tonight, to show people how easy this could be to mod your Arcade1up. But you've already did it. So without telling me too much, how was the experience for you?
I think everybody watching right now, and
Hmm.
yourself, Kong, I think they're all going to be extremely impressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're going to be. I was impressed from the get go. As
Hmm.
soon as I plugged it in, it worked. That's
So
it.
people
And
that know
now,
Quack
but
saying like, oh, we might be expecting Quack to show off some skin a little bit later on. But if he shows up, I know he's watching. Quack, get your ass in here. No shirt, no shoes,
I'm
no
texting
dice.
him right now. Like, come on,
That's
dude.
right. Yeah. So Quack, me, and Joel, besides the Buy Stuff guys, are the only people that have this encoder board. So we're super excited. Like we literally just got it today, and I've just been seeing chats and different posts from both Joel and Quack saying how amazing this is. And again, You've used different encoders as well to mod things like this in a yoke. You've used an APAC, an Ultimark. You've used a GeekPi. All right, so I mean, telling me like those were encoders we had to find and get working.
Yeah,
This was easier, or was it
you're
on par?
you're gonna have that Ridge Racer deck done in 5 minutes.
And in 5 minutes, I'm
In five
talking. I'm
minutes,
talking longer now in the intro than it's going to take me to actually finish the mod. Is that what you're saying?
that's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what you're telling me.
We've
Okay,
been talking longer now than it's gonna take you to plug that in.
that's gonna take me. All
Now,
right, so
I'm not counting taking apart the deck. I'm not
yes,
counting taking off the black piece. Once you start
plugging
unplugging
stuff.
and plugging in, it's gonna
Hmm.
take you 5 minutes.
Yeah, and so I mean, people like here turn my world around. He might have done my mod with the GeekPi, and yes, it was kind of a plug and play solution, but there were issues like dead zones. The pedals were a little bit wonky. It's one of the reasons why when I was doing mods, I never really felt like super comfortable doing a full-on commission build or using the GeekPi. I never thought it was like the best solution for the stock stuff. It was
Right.
playable, and I did a tutorial if people wanted to get it going, but I could never tweak it. The fact that this also, when we plug it into PC, what does it register as?
An Xbox controller.
That's right. An Xbox controller, X input in the emulation world is like, you're telling me it's the standard. That's what controllers need to be, because
Yep.
then you can pre-map everything, right? Can you explain
It's
what that
can
is? Why the significance of an Xbox controller?
because all PC games are Windows. So
Hmm.
Windows is Microsoft, Xbox is Microsoft. Everything is defaulted mapped to an Xbox controller for everything now, except
Hmm.
for PlayStation games. Those are the only things that aren't.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's right.
I plugged it in, and I was playing Project Cars.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you could be playing, I mean, Forza, I do have my other PC that has Forza attached to it. So maybe if I can figure it out. But I've been talking a lot. One last question before we get started. Bob, Sarge is saying, what's the cost of the Batman racing cab that you offer? Just for really quickly, I'll throw it back on screen.
Two versions. So the normal 1080p version. Actually, I have three versions. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want force feedback, 2900. If you
Mm-hmm.
want 1080p with force feedback, it's going to be 3200. If you want 4K, it's going to be 4200. What's
Yes.
the cost difference between the three of those, right?
Yeah.
The 2900 version wheel is cheaper than the $3,200 wheel and a
Yeah.
graphics card. And
And
then
so are you an official kind of distributor of the Buy Stuff folks then? Because you're using their builds, they're shipping you the materials and you're working with them
we
to
never said that I was an official distributor between the two of us.
you're just
But I
putting
just
their keys.
I ordered the cabs on behalf of the customers from
Okay.
them, just like
Okay.
I do with my other cabs from my other companies.
Got it.
I just pay the same exact price that any other customer is paying to buy the shell. That's it.
I see. Got it. And then you're doing the work to build. So all of this is
Yeah,
labor. This is good old labor from Joel Gorski, based out of New York, Buffalo. Is
Buffalo,
that
New
right?
York.
Buffalo,
Go
New York.
Bills.
And this gets shipped complete,
Yeah.
right? So that's the big key difference, because Buy Stuff will flat pack things to you and you have to build everything. What Joel does, why the cost is high, but it's worth it because it really takes the pain out of everything. You're sourcing the seats, everything, the monitor, putting it together, artwork, everything, the
Yep.
whole shebang, right? And
The
is
whole
this
shebang.
include and how much is shipping usually in the States? Is it dependent?
Uh, it ranges. It ranges between 550 to 650, but
Okay.
going to California, like if I'm going to UB, it would be right around 750.
750. Okay, for
It's gas
shipping.
prices and costs. Now,
Hmm.
I have one on the way to Albuquerque, Arizona right now, and
Yeah.
that was $615 to ship to Albuquerque.
Hmm.
And then I have one on the way to Raleigh. Raleigh was 550.
Hmm.
So it really ranges. I can
Yeah.
ship. I'm 3 hours from the Pennsylvania border, and I can ship. And I shipped a couple to PA a few
Mhm.
months ago, and those were 536 to go to PA. So
Yeah.
it really depends on the gas prices at the time and how far it's going. California being the furthest, so it's going to be the most expensive.
Got it. All right, a couple quick questions. If you have a GeekPi, yes, you can mod a Star Wars cabinet with a GeekPi. I think a Star Wars yoke works much better with the GeekPi because it's just an analog stick. You're not dealing with pedals, which are a little tricky. So yes, you can use that with the Star Wars cabinet. Carlo says you just push a few buttons to play more games. So yeah, wow, you could just press a few more buttons and keep trying. We were going to actually be playing Cruisin USA, but in my opinion, Cruisin doesn't actually play that well on MAME on these. How's your experience using Cruisin on this? Is it still something that's okay? Have you tweaked your version of it to get it working?
Plays a little bit better, I think, on that. I
You
think
think
the
so?
spring back to center
Okay.
really gives it the kick.
Okay.
I think that just helps the game out a lot. There's no force feedback on that,
Yeah.
so it's not really helping
Oh,
too
did you
much.
get the
But I
rumble
think
working yet too? That's the other thing. There's the
it,
rumble. He was saying that we can plug it into direct force feedback and then get the rumble working. So that's another exciting feature that Ridge Racer has that Outrun doesn't. There's the rumble feature. They've been able to make it work potentially with force feedback.
yeah,
So yeah.
I didn't think I had it hooked up, and when I was
Mhm.
playing Daytona, it
Mhm.
randomly went off.
It
It was
did?
quiet.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't.
So
It wasn't.
you
It wasn't too
almost lost it.
strong. So I don't know. I don't know if I got it hooked up right or not, but it
Okay.
did go off because I
Yeah.
mentioned it in my video. I'm like, oh shit, here it goes.
Mhm. All right. So Red Sea says it would need to be a different board. Haven't looked into it, but it might be down the road. Oh, so Red Sea's asking if this particular encoder would work with the Star Wars. I would potentially, but it'd be a different board, like they were saying. So the buy stuff guys, let me just make this big so they can see. And if I'm saying anything wrong, buy stuff guys, I mean, I'm sure feel free to come on if you can. This is a BS Customs USB controller 1.1. This is essentially an Arduino board that's right here that they've soldered onto this custom PCB to make it easier to plug in all the different inputs that are on your Ridge Racer cabinet. So all the inputs that come out of this into the stock Arcade1up encoder will plug into this. And then this Arduino, which has been pre-programmed, will register as the Xbox controller. So hope that was simple enough in terms of what we're trying to do. It's the reason why they made a custom version just for Ridge Racer, but they have the means. If the demand is there, maybe they'll do it for Star Wars and other things too. Buy Stuff says some emulators drive the rumble harder than others. So these are all settings you can tweak once you get into the emulation. But all right, I think I'm ready to start modding. All
Let's
right,
do
so what I'm
this.
gonna do is as you read through the comments, if there's other questions, just feel to shout out at me because I'm gonna turn my attention this way, start unscrewing stuff, and then maybe I'll talk through exactly what I'm doing at the same time. So
Sure.
really, it took you like 5 minutes to do this? You're not shitting me. That's it?
All right, let's start timing. Ready? Well,
You're
you
gonna
get that
start
deck
timing
off.
it. Okay.
You
From
get
the
that
time I
deck
start
off,
doing this. All
and
right.
I'll
So
start timing you.
I'm right here. Let's first things first, shut off the power to your machine. I just wanted to show that it was completely stock. I'm gonna unplug it on the back side.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught with 12 volts, right?
Oh
Now,
yeah.
how do I pull up? Ah, there we go. There's the
Yeah.
comments.
So the other thing that you'll need in addition to this mod is you do need to, again, this is not using the stock PCB. Right now, what we're doing is going to be converting this monitor screen into an HDMI to plug into a different source. So I'm using a PC. You and I have specialized in using budget PCs for emulation. I feel like there's some of the best ways that you can customize things, but it'll probably work with an Android box too. I think the Buy Stuff guys are going to make their own custom
Yeah,
racing box too, right? That this is going to work with. Right.
I believe that
So
they already tested it out with it. Yeah, their
correct.
Android box should be already be set up
So
and good
this
to
is
go.
not a soft mod to the cabinet to play other stuff. This is a hard mod that you have to physically monitor. So besides the encoder board, what you would need is this encoder. You
It's a
would
real
need,
mod.
yes, it's a real mod. You're gonna need, I kind of gutted this from another mod that I did. This is an LVDS to HDMI converter board to convert the monitor to use HDMI signal. And then you're gonna need either like a PC, the Android box, and then I know a guy named Retro Lizard if you need a place to get a playlist or something like that. So if you need help, check out Retro Lizard. Otherwise, check out, there's lots of places where you can at least get started. But let's get going. Let's get started.
Now, B, let's talk about that VSD display while you're doing that.
Yep.
Is that VSD display the same one that you would use on your Star Wars mod?
Correct. So right now,
Okay.
the Gen 3 monitors, they have that resolution of 1280 by 960. So that's what you're looking for. There is like Gen 1 monitors use that lower resolution 1280 by 1024, the
Right.
5.4 screen. So just make sure you have the right LVDS monitor converter.
You want the Gen 3 one. The other ones will not load it up, and it won't work on any of these newer Ridge Racer mods at all.
Yeah. But did you play this stock at all? Did you enjoy the Ridge Racer cabinet?
I got to play it stock for a day.
Yeah?
Literally a day. I put it together and I brought it in my basement. I didn't put the riser on, and I have a 3-year-old daughter, and she's a lot of fun. So I built it and I brought it down here for her to play because she loves playing on the big one. She loves playing cars. So I'm like, all right, well, this one she can stand up at and play. She was banging on that pedal with her foot, and she
Okay.
broke the pedal.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the pedal
Really?
just stopped working. Period.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well, I was going to see if I can mod it anyways. And I tried wiring it, and I did wire it, and I got some registering out of it, but it wasn't hitting correctly.
Okay.
But so the analog was broke on it. She just, by
no.
kicking it and hitting it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's just
I didn't pay full price for my cab. I got it off of one of those. You know, it comes from like the pallets where they return everything from. So I got it for like $300 a couple months ago. I got that and T2 together.
Nice. So you got.
But yeah, it instantly broke. So anybody with kids, don't let your kids slam on the pedal.
So the pedals can break. I don't know. There's only a handful of people. It was one of my big concerns about the quality of the pedals, where like, you know, it could potentially break. So congratulations. You might be one of the few out there that I know that have actually broken it.
we can thank my 3-year-old.
Yeah. All right. So we're opening this up right now, panel wise. Ding. Yeah, it just pops open. And are we going to be keeping this? Were you able to keep this whole thing?
The black piece? You can keep the black piece if you want to. Yeah, everything will fit back through it, but I took mine right off.
You just took it off? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I think for these, you have to like squeeze and then pull them out, right?
Yeah, just like pulling it off the back.
All right. Pull them out the back.
What do we got here? Who's in the chat? What do we got? We got Papa Brad. What's up? Council Kids, Mario. Drew C. Drew C has got a whole basement of Retro Lizard.
Does he? Okay.
He does.
Okay. All right. So let's get into here and looking at the different controllers that are listed here. I think normally what I would do and recommend is, you know, take a look at where the wires are supposed to be going in. And I think they're kind of labeled the same way.
They are.
Yeah.
Just about. You want me to let me walk. All right, hang on. We got to start the timer because we're getting ready to start plugging in.
Oh, this is where I didn't do any research ahead of time. The buy stuff guys were like, make sure you don't plug it into this one. I know that much, but it hasn't.
Yeah, so all right. So look at the board.
Yes.
All right, and on the left-hand side, you're going to see 12-volt power outlet.
Yes.
You're not going to use that.
Correct.
Okay, so if you use that, we're going to short the board out.
Okay,
the next one over is the Power SW. That's the power switch.
That's the power switch. Let's do that one at a time. We'll just do one at a time. Keep it going.
Yep.
You're going to walk me through this, Joel. You're going to make it so it's so stupid I can't mess this up. Let's go.
Starting a timer too with my help.
All right, what's next?
Next one is toggle. That is your volume button.
Okay, the volume. Okay, so that's the toggle right there. This is from the volume. Yep.
Next one is going to be the pedals, which is your white one.
Okay, so this is a 4-pin JST connection. So the pedals are coming all the way from here? No. Oh, it's from the actual
yeah, where's your white cord?
The white cord. Oh, this one. This thing right here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I do gotta pull this out. So hold on one second.
Oh no, we're screwing up the timer.
Okay. Because then the cool thing is when I had to use the my other mod, I was going straight to the potentiometers to mod them, but he's reusing all the stock connections.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
Your Star Wars mod was something else, man. I don't know how you figured out that wiring diagram, but that must have took you some time. Kudos to that.
Lots of trial and error. Okay. Maybe I'll just leave this close by and just leave this plugged in here, and we'll put this back on afterwards, just for the sake of time. Okay, so that's the wheel. Okay, good.
Those are the pedals. You gotta plug into the pedals.
The next one is the wheel. So that's this 3-pin right here. So the wheel has a 3-pin connector for the analog signal there. Perfect. That's easy.
Which would be the top 3 coming off your bottom wheel. The bottom one is your rumble.
This one right here. Yep.
Yep. So that's going to go all the way on the right where it says rumble.
Oh, it's even labeled. Like you can even, I know you can't see it, but it's printed on the PCB. It says rumble. I love it.
It's real nice, right? They did a really good job.
Super nice. Yeah, super nice. All right, what do we got next?
Okay, next we're going to move over to the 3 buttons on the right.
Okay.
Your top button.
Okay.
That's going to go into the start.
The brown button is the start button. Okay, so that's
your white button's over on the right. Your top one is going to be the start. So you're looking
top one right here is the start button. Good.
Yep.
The next one.
Next one down is going to be that goes into letter B.
Letter B.
Yeah. Okay. So see where the start button is. Next row over on the bottom.
Okay, got it. That's letter B. Yep.
And then the third button down, which would be the live button.
Okay.
That is going to go to, I have mine plugged into letter A, which is the top right.
Okay. The live button. Okay. So that's this one that's way over here. Wait, what did this one right here. Okay. I got it. You plugged it into what?
The top button on the right.
Okay.
Letter A.
Is that A? Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
That's A. See, we got A, B.
Okay, now we have the shifter.
The shifters, yep.
All right, the shifter. I have the green and gray, or green and black, I'm sorry. That is plugged into the shifter down.
So this is where my button wires are starting to look a little bit different. I have black and blue and black and blues. So
oh, well, just trial and error then. Just take one of them and plug it into the top.
That's the fun thing about this. So when you're modding, especially with these encoder type connections, you really don't have to worry too much. Like it is just trial and error. If you plug it into one, it's probably just going to register as a different button. And then eventually on your mapping, you'll need to be able to just change it to what you want to. Or if you're using something like retro lizards, then like he'll give you more direct instructions. So is it your shift up or down that's going into that next one?
Shift up, it's labeled on it. So if your shift up will go to shift up and your shift down will go to shift down.
I see, because it says shift up and shift down. That's stupid me. All right.
They thought of everything, right?
They thought of everything. All right, let me look this way. Okay, so yeah, it literally says shift up and shift down. So I'm just gonna follow the wires and trace them down here. So this is the bottom one is shift down. Okay, so this is shift down. Here it is. This one then. Perfect. And then shift up. All right. Are there any questions? Is this feeling too?
Where are we at here? Kong the Man of Myth. Simple plug and play for Tron. No questions. Right. Everybody's just watching.
All right, there it is. Okay, and then the last thing
is that black harness.
Okay. Does the speaker plug into anything or no?
No, that doesn't plug into anything.
That doesn't do anything. Okay, so the 3.5 millimeter jack was not used at all?
Correct.
Got it. Okay, so that there's no sound output from the 3.5 millimeter jack. So room for improvements. Buy stuff, guys. It's not everything, but pretty damn
now
close.
Where's the black harness that came with yours?
It is here. This is what we're looking at. This right here?
Yeah.
All right. So this is a custom wire harness as well that the Buy Stuff guys have created. Looks like there's this 6-pin connector, and it's going out several different things here. So you have the marquee power, it looks like, a 12 volt, and then an extra 12 volt adapter here. So it plugs into here?
Plugs into there.
All right. There it is.
And you're plugged in. Stopping the timer. Timer is 5 minutes and 24 seconds.
Wait, but there's more. That's all. But okay, so 5 minutes it took to take the actual like plugging from one thing to another. Nice job. You're right. Okay, so 5 minutes to do that. Now it's the fun part. It's finishing the connections, plugging the PC, plugging the monitor, and then seeing if we got this working. So I like it.
Connections are finished. All you got to do is plug in power now.
All right, so tell me about these particular connections here. So the 3 different wires that are coming out of here, I assume like this is the smaller marquee connection. So this is actually powering the marquee too?
Yeah, marquee, monitor, and power.
Okay, marquee, monitor, and power. So the 12 volt adapter from your cab would plug into this, I assume?
Yes.
And then this is going into the LVDS, right?
Yep.
And then this is the marquee. Oh, okay, got it. So it's like splitting.
And now the power switch on your deck will control the monitor and the marquee.
The monitor and the marquee only. Got it.
Yeah.
And so separate power source for the PC, but everything will run through there. So this is almost becoming a built-in Y splitter for the stock power cable. So the stock power cable is a 12 volt, 3 volt supply, plugs into here. This is also going to power the LVDS and there. Got it. Okay. Understood. I think I got it. All right. What about, okay. This is speaker sound. What was this for again? What was this for?
I don't know. What do you got hanging there?
What's that? I mean, this was on the back of the original one right here. Do you remember what this was for?
Oh, that was the old power.
That was the old power. Oh, for power for the rumble.
Yeah.
It needed that extra power. Got it. Okay. So we're good there. And normally when you're modding, this is just the rat's nest. Eventually we would clean this up, put this board back on however we want to. And then we're ready to go. So let me turn my cab around and I'll do the LVDS portion of it. And then I think that'll be like the next hardest thing to explain. Any tips from, changing out that PCB? And you've done this a ton of times, right? Like any mistakes you've done, things to avoid when you're putting the LVDS on here?
Make sure you ground it correctly. That's it. Make sure you ground it correctly, and make sure you have that red and blue wire facing the correct way with the little dot on it.
Yes.
Buy stuff in the comments. They made a point though. The audio is going to come from your front end, so you don't need the audio jack on your deck anymore.
Okay, got it. So the audio.
Yeah, so the audio, if you're putting in a PC in there, your audio is all going to come from your PC.
Okay, but it's but what about the stock speakers? Are these the stock speakers plugging into anything?
No.
They're not
No.
plugging into anything. Oh, okay.
No.
What was I using?
Who uses stock speakers?
What's that? I still use the stock speakers.
Do
on things.
you?
I have to use like an amp or anything.
Get a sound bar.
Yeah, you could soundbar it. Or what was I doing? Was I plugging? I think I was plugging the speakers into the LVDS and then using the HDMI out of that.
Nah, dude,
well.
spend $100 on a Vizio soundbar with a subwoofer.
You could, right?
Gotta get with the times, man. It's gotta get loud.
Man. I'm super cheap. What can I say? I remember like being really cheap when I was first modding, and like I would just cut corners on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was using $12 PC speakers from Amazon on my original Pi mods. And I'm like, well, we could do something a little bit better than that because we needed to control volume. So then I ended up moving over to sound bars with knobs and mounting them on top right behind the marquees.
All right. So
look at how fancy B is with his DeWalt drill.
What? You don't use power tools when you take the stuff off?
I use Home Depot Ryobi. I'm not as fancy as you.
Oh, the DeWalt. Ryobi's a nice brand. I like him. All right, I need a smaller screwdriver so I can get in there. But so are you planning on putting it into your Ridge Racer completely? You're just going straight to the works, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting on my VSD. Amazon for shipping to Buffalo. You pay for Amazon Prime, and right now it's a 5-day wait on everything.
Oh, really? So you didn't have any more adapters?
No, I didn't have any VSD. I didn't have any more display adapter. Well, I didn't have a Gen 3 adapter at least. I have the Star Wars one, but I don't know if it'll work on this or not. But
the Star Wars one should be the same. It should be the same. Yeah.
Should be. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. You did say that it should be the same. I asked you that. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But I don't. But then I got to take it out of my Star Wars.
That's right. That's right. I know. I'm always like moving stuff from one mod to another. That's why that one was like still halfway attached to some cardboard.
Yeah, I should have mine done. I should have my board on Wednesday, so that might be a weekend or a project for next weekend when I don't work on the weekends anymore. At least I try not to, even though it's kind of balls to the wall right now with orders.
All right, so this is the stock PCB. We will not be using this. I am going to be holding on to this because there actually has been some folks in the community. I saw Danny Dawson has been making a name for himself. He's been modding these because it is an Android system. So there are some soft mods. I don't think Team Encoder has this on our radar yet to be modding it, but I think they are looking at some software solutions for this. So hold on to this in case you want to go back to it at some other point in time. Don't just toss it out. It might be good for you in the later. Okay.
Mine'll be for sale at the end of the week.
Okay. So for me, I still like to use a cardboard barrier in between.
Yep.
Right. And so I
do the same thing.
Yeah. That's my cardboard barrier. And then plugging it in. Make sure
my cardboard barrier though. So what are you using to hold that onto the cardboard?
Good old fashioned
No, I meant the other side. The other side. What's holding on the display?
Oh, I have 4 PCB feet here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just have 4 PCB feet that are sticking onto here, and then I'm just gonna stick this on there on top, and then this is the controller for that.
So for some people watching, B's option is a great option to use. Another option to do is you can actually put 2 screws right through it if you want to, if you don't have feet, and you can screw it directly into the monitor and then ground the other side directly into the monitor.
Yeah. And so I like to put mine above because it allows me for this cable to kind of like reach back here. And so then I'm just able to stick this extra controller adapter right on top afterwards too. So this
perfect. And then that's out of the way. You don't have to worry about that hitting the monitor and shorting out.
Exactly. So this is just a little extra step that I do. So once it's plugged in, I had to go the right way before. Whoops. Okay.
I love this. We need to mod cabs live more often.
So you can see, learn from other people's tips and tricks.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's all about, man. I love learning from you. One of the first things I learned from you, remember when we were like drilling through plexiglass?
Yeah.
And you showed me how to drill plexiglass at the same time as the board, and I was like,
with,
what?
with the forcer bit, you were like blown away. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
this works. I'm like,
I
it
was,
works. I make a video.
I was using a hole saw and like just drilling through bolts separately so I wouldn't crack the freaking plexiglass. Changed my life. And then I eventually got a drill press, and then everything worked out better than that.
Yeah, that drill press for you was clutch. I was watching you use that a few times.
Yeah, drill press is definitely money if you're doing a ton of these particular mods. So something to look for Christmas. Are you still doing those types of mods, or are you just really doing like your own custom full size stuff now?
I still do the 1-up mods, not as much as the custom full size, but they're still in there.
Yeah.
I don't do as much to where I would need a drill press anymore. Actually, I used to use just a hand drill for it, and but I don't do them as much anymore because I'm building those full sizes. Those are the light guns.
The light gun
cabs
Can
are
you
a
talk
hit.
about your light gun stuff too? I mean, you don't just do racing stuff in PC. You talk about your gun cab stuff for a second.
Dude, the gun cabs are a hit. The House of Dead graphics, it just Drew C was the first one to my customer Drew C in the comments over here. He was the first one to ask me to do the House of Dead, and he wanted me to replicate the original graphics. So I did it as close as I could. And then for the deck, I talked to Mr. Profit. And I'm like, Mister, I need some help with this deck. Can I commission you to do this deck graphic for me because I'm really having a really hard time for me? And he did it phenomenally. And ever since then, that's been a hit. I must have done like 15 House of Dead cabs so far already. And then people wanted Scarlet Dawn and whatnot. But the light gun cabs using Gun for IR, the best guns on the market. I got two options. I got the GunCon ones with the rumble feature for the rumble cons, and then the Super Jolt option where that comes with the pedals and your top sliders. So I mean, and there's 202 games on there now, and I just did my first 4K one for my customer down in North Carolina right now. That the 4K, oh my god,
nice.
Oh my god, man.
I have yet to play light gun games on 4K, but that sounds amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna head off really quickly to grab something from my Star Wars mod kit. So I was trying to think, it's been so long since I've retired. I forgot. I was like, how do I connect the stock power to the VS display board? So unfortunately, you can't just plug it straight into the 3.5 millimeter. There's a powered amp right here on the VS display. That white connection right there. So what I did was I wired a custom 4-pin connector into that plugs into the stock speakers so that you can use the stock speakers through the display board. So keep talking about your thing really fast, and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Yep.
I can't wait to see what he's about to do with these stock speakers. I never even thought of doing that. So the gun cabs, there's the 4K. I just did the first 4K one, and it made the pixels so clear that it just blew me away. The main Area 51 looks perfectly clear on it. House of Dead Scarlet Dawn just looks absolutely amazing. House of Dead Remake looks completely crisp and nice in 3D. I really think 4K gaming and 4K retro gaming is, it's really going to be where it's at in the next couple of years and going to be on the rise, especially with all the TVs and monitors basically moving over to the 4K outputs now. LEDs and 1080ps are kind of phasing out, starting to get harder to find. You can't really find a 32-inch TV over the size of 32-inch. I mean, as a regular 1080p these days, everything is turning into 4K, 43, 40s, everything's 4K now. So that's what made me start doing the 4K mods, or the 4K builds, I should say. But 4K gaming, guys, if you haven't checked it out, you should definitely check out what Area 51 looks like, or even Ninja Turtles on 4K. It looks amazing. Buy stuff in the comments. We got Jolly Green here. He wants to know what games are going to be on the racing box. That's probably going to be a standard Android box that they're doing. So Android will most likely run your standard MAME games, and then it's going to go up to at least Dreamcast, probably some PS1 on there, definitely some N64. I think they have 30 PSP games running on the Android box. And there you go, about over 100 games on there, and 30 can be networked. I think Buy Stuff actually networked the PSP games too. Something I was working on and linking on my builds also. I think I linked maybe 2 of them, but they have up to 30 linked, which is crazy. How can you run these D&B games? John Smith, what's a D&B game? You mean Dave and Buster games? Technoparrot, that's it. I'm sorry, D&B is Technoparrot. D&B is Dave and Buster's. Technoparrot will run those. So your Mario Kart GP is your Japanese techno version. It's the same one that's at Dave and Buster's. Same thing with the Fast and Furious games. What's the other ones that on? There's 30 Technoparrot racers. Grid, the 4 Fast and Furious games, which those are really hit and miss. You know, sometimes you can transfer them over and they'll work good. Sometimes you transfer them over and they just don't play on certain PCs, and I have no idea why. What else is on there? Wacky Races, Nicktoons Nitro, Outrun 2. You know, that's always a fan favorite that everybody loves too. Batman, everybody knows the Batman game. That's all Technoparrot, all of it. You're going to need at least a 1050 Ti or a 1650 low profile with 8 gigs of RAM on a PC to run Technoparrot. You're not going to be able to run that on an Android box or a Raspberry Pi or anything else. You need strictly PC for that. It also doesn't run on Batacera. I've seen some people do it on Batacera Plus, but with Wine, but I've never been able to get Technoparrot to load on Batacera Plus using Wine. I tried it a few times, thinking maybe I can use a Batacera build instead of using my PC build, just to make things a little bit easier for people to use because it's more friendly. But no, I couldn't get it to load at all, man. It kind of sucked. Hot Wheels is PC. Chris Nee's in the house. 88 Monks, Gunfire IR is the king, man. That is king over everything. I tell you, I just did a Sinden build the other day for a 4-player House of Dead, and those guns should not be complicated at all, man. They should not. The player 1 gun was just completely wonky, and the mouse was all over the place to where I almost had to drop all the Sinden settings in the player 1 software pretty close down to 0, which was pretty crazy to me. Player 2 gun, plugged it in. It worked pretty much perfectly fine. Needed a couple adjustments, but that player 1 Sinden gun, when I do my showcase video on it, I'm going to show the settings and what I had to do to lower them down to get this mouse to stop jumping literally all over the screen. There must be something wrong with the camera on that gun, but there's been so many hit and miss with those Sinden guns. I would say they're number 2. Gunfire IR is the king. Sinden is going to be number 2 because they're better than an aim track and they're better than all the other guns that are on the markets too. Screen on a gun cab, I would recommend. I build 32s. My full-size cabs are 32s. I wouldn't go over a 43. You can play on 50s, you can play on 55s, but you got to remember this is retro gaming that we're doing. You know, Area 51 on a 55-inch TV is going to be pretty wide. The bigger you go, the more stretched out they get. Sure, you can play with bezels. What's the point of playing with a bezel on a 55-inch screen if you're not going to make it go full screen, though? I feel like I'm talking to myself over here, B.
You are. No, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. And so, man, you can, if I could show you, I might take a picture of my room. So I literally tore apart my supply drawers looking for this damn part. Because normally I'll build, like when I'm custom making things, I'll build like extra spares. And I thought I had a whole bag of them, but I couldn't find the ones that I already pre-made. So here's essentially what I'm doing. It's just a connector cable for a 3.5 millimeter jack. Right.
Okay.
And so then it has the 4 splitter wires, and then it plugs into a custom 4-pin JST here. So you're wiring this up, and essentially the problem with plugging those stock speakers direct into the LVDS is that it doesn't have power. This actually provides power to the speakers. And yes, it's not the same as PC speakers, but it works. So all you got to do is like plug this together and then plug in the stock speakers into this into the LVDS, and you'll get sound out of the stock speaker. So that's what I was using. So if you've never done this before, it's a cheap way to reuse the speakers.
How are you going to use the volume switch?
The volume switch you can use for this part right here. So you can like use because you're controlling the volume from the actual LVDS or from the PC itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
What does the volume switch do on this board here? Do you know?
To the right, when you push it right, it is your select button or coin. Okay. Push it to the left, and it's X.
And it's X. Oh, okay. So it's actually buttons then.
Yeah.
So
they wired it to the buttons.
Because otherwise, what I do normally is I'll wire that volume switch into like 2 buttons on my control panel on my encoder, like 11 and 12, and then I map those to joy to key volume up and down to control on the PC. So that's another option I do. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit extra. I'm gonna see how long it takes to do some custom wiring. Because what's fun is playing a game without sound, right? I don't have any spare speakers that I can just throw into here. This will probably just take another 5 minutes of live modding. We're already
Good
46
timing.
minutes in. Good timing me, right? I know.
Let's
Look at
see,
this.
right?
Oh yeah.
Nooner, you asked if it's plug and play on my builds. Yeah, it was plug and play. I plugged it in earlier and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, Joel's stuff, his playlist thankfully is already mapped out to use X input.
Yep.
I have a playlist where I've used custom Outrun PC build, and it works. Unfortunately, it's all direct input, meaning I had to hand map everything. So once we get to plugging it into the PC, either I can switch really quickly to X input for at least Technoparrot, right? Isn't
Yeah.
there a way to just automatically just switch that over?
Yeah. In TechnoParrot, you can just hit the game settings and just drop it to X
And
input,
so
go
I
to
can do
controller,
that.
and then you map it.
Yeah. So I could do that. Or I just might have to remap just a handful of games and just double check if it works with my other settings. Because most controllers, I mean, they are kind of standard. Like if you have the directionals plugged into everything, it should work for the most part. But yeah, we will see. Was there any other like troubleshooting issues you saw when you got it plugged into your PC?
No, actually, there was no driver that was installed, no nothing, because I
Mhm.
unplugged it and plugged it in twice just to make sure that it would work.
Mhm.
I went right to the USB controller to see if it was recognized. It was
Okay.
recognized. Yeah,
Nice.
so I am wondering maybe there was no driver that installed on mine because I already had Xbox controllers installed on it. Maybe it was
Mm.
automatically recognized from that driver,
Okay.
but it just plugged in, made that ding, and I'm like, all right, let's go to a game. Went
Nice.
to a game and it worked.
What was the first game you played? I know I didn't get to watch the whole video. I saw that you made one. What was the first game that you played and tested?
The first game I went and tested was Cruisin. Cruisin's my always go-to whenever I'm building a
Nice.
racing arcade, just to test it out to make sure controls work, because I know everybody knows how those controls work for Cruisin.
Yeah, and they're gonna want
So
to play that game.
before the video, I tested it out on Cruisin. I was testing all the Model 2 games
Mhm.
because Model 2 games are individually mapped, just to double check
Mhm.
to make sure I individually map mine correctly.
Yeah.
I went to Model 2, I went to Techno Parrot. Of course, I was having a funky time loading a couple of my Techno games, but I got Daytona Championship to run, and
Nice.
that worked. And then I also forgot that, the last time I touched my actual racing arcade, I was working on the Linked. So half my games were still set to slave.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other
Yeah, so
thing.
I'm like, oh
So
man. So testing it out took like an hour because I had to change it back to like the master cab and whatnot.
yeah.
But yeah, Cruising is the one that I went right to. And now keep in mind for the guys listening and for B2, my arcade is already mapped to an Xbox controller. I
Mhm.
use X output, which will make any wheel universal. As long as you map it inside X output. X output is basically X360 CE, but it's a global setting instead of a per emulator setting. So if you map every single game as an Xbox controller, you plug in a Logitech G29 or a Thrustmaster wheel, and then you go to X output and you map it. As long as it's plugged in and shown as controller one, it will automatically be configured globally to every game you just mapped as an Xbox controller. So that's why when I'm saying when I plug into mine, it
It's plug and
automatically
play.
worked. So
Yeah.
when you guys plug into yours, if you're not already mapped as an Xbox controller, you're still going to have to configure your wheel and your pedals,
Yes.
which is super easy. Anybody can do that.
And in the world of emulation, our disclaimers is that nothing is truly 100% plug and play. People like
Right.
Joel and Buy Stuff Arcades are trying to make DIY as easy as possible. But I mean, you got to know how to use a keyboard and mouse. You got to be able to work your way around some basic things because at some point, something is going to break or not work, and you got to have to be able to work it out. So
Exactly.
that's just our disclaimer. But even though Joel does good work and Buy Stuff as well. Okay.
The only way that you're going to get something plug and play is if somebody plugs and plays it for you. I for my gun
Mhm.
arcades and my racing arcades, those are pretty much plug and play. The light gun arcade it's now by plug and play, that means everything is pre-configured for you. That's
Correct.
what that means by plug and play. Now, it has to be pre-configured to the exact setup that you're using for the person that did it for you too. The only
Yeah.
thing I can't get to plug and play is my actual multicades. I have to
Yep.
configure those every single time.
You do. Okay, so let me just show you exactly what I get. Again, this is a 3.5 millimeter jack with a open end connection going into a 4-pin, I think JST-PH connection. So this is going to go into the LVDS adapter, and then your stock speakers are going to work. It's going to work. If you've not done this, It's a cheap way. It's just custom wires. Nobody sells this.
You got to make it.
Out and I offered it to my kids.
And that took me 4 minutes and 48 seconds.
Oh, to wire this up? You timed me?
To wire that up while I was
more
rambling on.
To look for the part than it did. But here's the let me switch this back over now. Here's the stock speakers, and now I can plug this into here. And then there is a volume up and down switch on this where you can use this on the monitor. And now
I never knew that.
You've never used that?
I never knew that had a volume switch on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, it says volume. Well, it says left and right, but yeah, if you press one of them, it'll turn into a volume switch for the thing too. It's not the best. It's not super loud, but it'll work. Okay, so now we need to get to plugging in stuff, right?
Right.
Turn this back around. I'd say about another 5 more minutes to get everything plugged up and tested. And we're going to spend the rest of the time doing some mapping and then actually like trying out a game or two. I tried to beg Joel if he would share his X input racing build, but he's stingy and doesn't want to share it with me. So
that's not true. We didn't have enough time. So I'd have to, my racing build's almost 500 gigs. So we wouldn't have enough time to zip it, upload it, him download it, unzip it. Not enough time.
We're just telling people the real truth. You just tell people you didn't like me. And
all right. The truth is I didn't want to share it with B.
Exactly. You do.
I didn't want him fucking with my shit.
All right. Dang, this Ridge Racer thing, like, is kind of funny too. Like, I don't know, like, these pedals, because the wire, you have to stick it underneath and then go all the way back. So I haven't done.
Yeah, you have to stick it under the riser and then like fish it through the back and then back into the cardboard that covers the back of it too to fish it inside.
Yeah, so just gonna make sure that the pedals are going
Was the Outrun cab like that?
I feel like I should plug this into the PC first and just test it before I put it in here.
No.
No?
No. Put the
just go straight?
Just do it. Just do it.
Do it? All right.
Yeah, just do it.
Normally, what I would recommend for folks that are watching, like, plug your shit into your PC to make sure it works first before you finish this mod. But Joel just says he trusts me that I did it right, and we're just going to go. So
anything that you didn't do right, you can just do on the fly while it's plugged in there, because that Ridge Racer is going to be your racer. So you got to fix anything, fix it while it's in the main cab.
I guess so. All right, Joel, trust me. We're going to do this on the fly. All right.
This is modding. This is building, man. You just got to get it in there and get it going.
Modding 101. We're going to make this work. We're going to make it work. All right, so here we are. Control panel. Everything is a little bit dangly. Probably not as nicely controlled as I'd want to. I'm going to stick this down. Get these black cords back, which are the next things that we need to plug in. And I probably would put some PCB feet on here. I wonder if Buy Stuff has a mounting recommendation of like taking this off completely and then sticking this on.
Mount it to the stock holes.
Yeah, should I just take off the stock encoder first and mount that one in?
I did it.
You did it?
I did it. I'm showing everybody.
All right, let me do that first so that we don't have some dangling precarious things. I don't want to like short this board out. So yeah, we're going to take out here just so people can see what I'm doing. So like, let's mount this thing, right? I'm pretty sure the Buy Stuff stores would have thought this through.
They did. The holes line up exactly.
All right. So there's 3 screws. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Take out the old encoder board. Just put it to the side. And then the new encoder board should mount 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. This is a much better option than just going straight to plugging everything down. Okay. I like this. I feel much better about this now. Okay. Smart.
Making comments too in the section that it's a direct replacement. They also did what you said. They recommend testing buttons. Fuck it. Put that shit together and get it in there.
This is what live modding is all about, right? And then when it doesn't work, we're all gonna blame Joel.
You can. When it doesn't work, we can figure that out from there.
Yes, exactly. That's what we're gonna do.
Is the PC you're hooking up, does it have Wi-Fi attached to it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Just in case we need that driver. We don't know yet.
Okay. All right. And so let's talk about the budget PCs. I've done a couple of PC builds on my channel, and like pretty much a lot of the budget PCs we do kind of use that same Gen 3 i5. What are the min specs that you're using in your builds?
Same exact ones, but I'm using the DTs. instead of the SFF. So I use an i5 4570 Dell Optiplex i5 4570 with 8 gigs of RAM, and then I replace the hard drives with SSDs. I like using the DTs. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit more complicated to put inside of a 1UP, but the SFF, if your low profile GPU isn't exactly the right size or perfectly too well, it doesn't fit too well, and you have to pull the power supply out. So the DTs just plug right in, you're good to go.
I see.
Look so same exact budget ones that you're using is the same exact budget ones that I was. We all started learning. We all started using those like 3 years ago.
The Optiplexes? Yeah, I was using Optiplex 710s for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Here's I stuck it in the plastic thing. Does this fit back directly on? Kind of. I was figuring out which hole to put it through. I put it through the wrong hole though. Don't you hate it when that happens? Don't you hate it when that happens? I was trying to like soak these through the stock little hole right there to see if I can get it to fit. Using the round hole instead of the square hole. So let's see if we can get this through. That would be really nice, and that way we can keep the plastic on and people could protect. Because normally when you're modding, like I'm throwing this out like immediately, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When I mod mine, I'm just tossing them. I'm not going to save that thing. What's the point? Nobody's going to see it.
Nobody's going to see it, but you will know. You will know on the inside.
Just go get your saws on, cut it off.
Yeah. Come on, push it through. Push it through. Get it through. Okay, all right. Whew. Okay, we're soaking it through. The thing came out just a little bit. Plug that back in. Thing's good. Okay. All right, Buy Stuff is like, these guys, what are they doing? They're just like hacking all my crap together.
Well, hold up, Pete. Before you put that down, where's the USB cable that plugs into the Arduino?
Oh, you're so smart. I didn't plug in the actual USB into the Arduino too.
I'm not smart. You can thank Mario Aguilar.
There it is. Micro USB to the Arduino. Thank you so much. That's going to come down here too. Perfect.
Did you see what Billy Wright's doing?
What, with the cockpit or something else?
Yeah, with the cockpit, with the motion cab.
With the what?
He's making a motion racer.
A motion? Oh, really? He's doing a whole-on thing?
He's got the seat. He's got the full-on motion seat for the DOF.
Yes. Look how confident this is. This thing's going to fit back in perfectly. I'm going to screw a screw back in just to make sure it stays.
Look how clean that is. That's not a Retro Lizard mod. It ain't that clean.
I know, right? This is pretty dang good. Like having this cover come back on is actually like a real first in any mod that I've done, where you can actually do a mod. And I'm just gonna do one screw so this thing stays on, but all the other connections come straight out right from here. This isn't used for anything, and then this is the pedal. So very clean, very clean. All right, so we're gonna plug this back in.
But did you see it's clean? It's clean like a mother. There it is.
Gotta get my Bobby Boot some credit. Where the hell is Quack? Can you message that guy? He was all excited about coming on YouTube and showing off the goods.
Right, all last week in the Wizards, he's like, yo, when am I going on the next video? When am I going on the next video? And now, where the fuck is he?
I agree. Quack Lee.
I'll send him a voicemail.
Yes, please do. Let's get him in here. For folks that don't know who Quack Lee is, a legend in the arcade modding community.
Quack, where the fuck are you? Get on here.
All right. We're just doing some quick testing, not too much. This is actually, I highly don't recommend like doing this level of putting stuff back together before testing everything. I'm like blind plugging everything back in, praying that it's going to work the first time I plug it in. So praying for a miracle. You've been following, the community has been following this whole way through. So, all right. So the next step, I'm going to go behind, plug everything in. So this is the PC that I'm using. This is a Dell, no, not a Dell. This is an HP 8300 specs, i5, 32 gigahertz of CPU. It's 8 gigabytes of RAM, a GTX 1050 Ti, and a 500 gigabyte SSD. So I have a really small 200 gigabyte playlist on here. My Launchbox playlist is on here already. So that's it. So for folks that are looking for PC builds, I do have a tutorial on how to put it together. But yeah, I mean, you can put one of these budget PCs if you make it yourself for like about $200-300, maybe less.
I'd say about closer to four.
Closer to 4 these days.
Yeah, you're gonna be what? You're gonna be 150 for the PC. That's with shipping from like eBay. Yep. Average another $40 plus tax, so $50 for your SSD. and then average $200 for your graphics card.
Yep, that sounds about right.
It's not like I buy them all the time or anything.
All right, so I'm plugging in the HDMI from the PC into the LVDS is my first thing.
But you got to make a video on how to do that speaker mod that you did.
That one with the little thing? Okay.
Yeah, just one specific video on that. That was really awesome what you just did there. And it only took 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's really simple. I'll send all the parts and everything. Okay, so I'm plugging in the. Do you guys want to see this? I guess I should turn this around really quick. No? That'd probably be helpful. Just so people could see.
Listen, if you don't know how to hook up an LVDS to One-Up, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's a couple more things, right? So yeah, this is everything that's backstage right now. So right now I also have, this is coming from the pedals that are plugged into the encoder. So this is coming out of the back right here. So this is the pedals from the ground that's plugged into there. There's also all these wires that are here that are loose that are coming in. So let's do that. This is the marquee. This should be pretty simple because that plugs straight in. It's a smaller cable there. And then we have the male 12-volt barrel is going to go into the LVDS power.
Super Game Room dudes, Mrs. Kongs is at my house tonight.
She's helping out. Okay, and then this is the stock power cable. That is the stock power cable. The 12-volt adapter is plugging into the Y splitter there. And I think that's it. I think I'm done. I think. All right, so let me double check. I have power, I have HDMI, got my sound, got my 12
Michael V, right now, 22 games are linked. Only 22. Unless we can get more PSP games going. I believe Buy Stuff has up to 30 PSP games linked. But on PC, I have 22.
All right.
Only 2 main games can link. Only 2 main games.
Okay.
And that would be Outrunners and Virtual Racing.
All right. All right, let's do test number 1. If I turn the power on, all it's going to do is just turn on the marquee and the monitor, right?
Yep.
That's it? Okay.
So
all right.
He's
test number 1.
I didn't do this. You're the first.
All right. Cross your fingers, everybody. All right. Buy stuff. Do I have the good to go? I'm all like crossing my fingers.
Don't blow up. Don't blow up. Don't blow up.
All right, here we go. Power switch on. Ooh, marquee's on. And I'm just waiting for something to flash. Look, attention. No signal. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have power. It's successfully powered up. And then we have the marquee switch on. So that's perfect. All right. Power test number 1. Successful. This is excellent. Okay, so next, I know the shininess is really, really bad there. I'm going to plug in my...
Is that a ball joke?
For my PC. I have it set to auto boot up when it actually detects power. So it should be booting up now. Oh, and I got to plug the USB into the PC too. So I got to go
wait until your PC boots up though.
Before I do that? Okay, so we can see the chime. Oh, look. Well, I saw Windows.
There it goes.
Yeah. I know.
So get it on Wi-Fi and then plug in. Look at that fancy ass screen.
You know, I like graphics. This is my Kongzilla Arcade, and then it's gonna boot up into my playlist right now. And I wonder if the sound is gonna work. We'll find out right now. You ready? You ready for this? You ready?
Do it.
So PC was working right now. It's gonna auto boot into my old. It's a little crackly. Maybe it's just a little slow. Okay.
It's catching up.
It's catching up. I think I haven't used this PC in a while. I wonder why the sound's all messed up though.
Well, let's not worry about sound. We're worried about gameplay right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So that's my little intro, right? Nice, not bad.
Not bad. Nice work, beat. Cough clap.
Okay. All right, here it is, my custom playlist. I don't know if anything is actually mapped or works at all because I don't have anything mapped yet. Oh, I don't even have the USB thing plugged in yet. I'm stupid.
Right.
All right.
Exit
That's
your
dumb.
front end. Let's get that thing
All
on
right.
Wi-Fi and then
That,
plug in.
what's that?
Exit out of your front end. Let's get that on
All right.
Wi-Fi and plug in.
The front end. Okay, good. So now we are in our desktop. Let's see. I could actually I could capture card this. Do you think that would be better? That could take a
Maybe.
second. Yeah. No, it's okay. I think
But
it'll
the
be okay.
view, I think the view you got is just fine. The light above isn't too bad. I mean, it's got a
Let
standard
me
glare,
turn this
but
off right here. I think this is was that what which thing is it that is reflecting light over there? Let me hold on.
ceiling light maybe.
Yeah, let me unplug the ceiling light really quick. Get up
Ew,
here.
he's dimming the lights, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that one? No,
Nope, that wasn't it.
That wasn't the right one.
No,
About this one.
that's it.
That's the one.
That's perfect. That's
Okay.
perfect.
All right, so now you guys can see. So yeah, there it is. Now we have this. I'm gonna plug in the PC or the actual USB, and then we're gonna see how it registers and check it out so far. All right.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
I've been this excited about a mod in a long time, so this is really cool.
We're an hour into this, and we're really only like 50 minutes into it.
All right. So here's the USB. I'm gonna plug it into the PC now. I heard a chime. You heard the chime as well?
I do, but I don't see any driver going off in the corner, so that's a good sign too.
So I have my audio as high as I can go.
Now, before you do anything, go to the USB controller.
Yes, and we're gonna check that right now to see how it registers right now. Oh, what happened? Okay. All right, I pressed something. All right, so we're gonna type in USB, set up USB game controllers, and then we will see a device there. So on the screen, it says controller Arduino Micro. And so I know that's really hard to see. So that's what it registers as right now.
Mine didn't register as that.
No?
No.
Okay.
Mine was straight Xbox controller.
Oh, went straight Xbox controller.
Yeah, are you on the Wi-Fi?
I'm not, but this actually still works though. So I mean, still working as a regular controller. So I got pressing for my, I don't have any, my pedals aren't working, but the wheel left and right is working.
I had to, what do you call it? Calibrate the pedals.
You had to calibrate the pedals.
Yeah, just like Star Wars.
Got it. Okay, so let's try that out. So we're gonna go to settings, default.
My pedals, both my pedals were only registering as Z-axis.
Okay. Give me
which is okay. It worked just fine doing that.
What I'm gonna do is see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can actually share the screen on this, and then we can look at it as well. So look away, look away, look away. Okay. Once we are connected. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screen share my whole screen from StreamYard, and then we can see it a little bit more clearly from everybody. All right. When you get into like modding as well, like what are some of the challenges and things that excite you when you're doing stuff like this? Like, do you like this trial and error stuff, or does that stuff bug you?
No, I like the trial and error stuff. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love it when something goes perfect, but the trial and error stuff always works out well.
Yeah. It's kind of like that puzzle of like, oh man, I just really want this to work.
Yeah, I've done this 30 times. Why isn't it working this time?
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh, okay. It was just the button. The button's not lighting up. Okay, the button's not getting power. Got to change the button. Yeah,
and in the early days, it was one of the ways why we connected. We started modding with other modders and kind of just getting with the community folks. So yeah, that was really fun to figure it out together, and I think that's really the best part about this.
I felt like I was talking to a celebrity the first time you and I connected. I was like, "Oh my god, it's him!"
Don't lie.
Seriously, I'm like, "That's the dude on YouTube." Holy shit, he's a real person. They're all in here. They're all real people. Holy shit, it's the Bobby guy.
I know, right? Okay, so we're gonna enter. Okay, look, it's I'm StreamYarding from here, and there's an echo. All right, so what I'm gonna do is present my whole screen. Boom.
Fancy.
Okay. Fancy. So now take this out. There it is.
There it is.
So now we can see this big screen. There, like that. Okay, so now you can see a little bit more clearly what we're doing, because the controller mapping side, I think this is really important. This is where a lot of people kind of get lost, is this portion. Once I plugged it into my PC, how can I make sure that this is working correctly? And if it's not working, what can I do? So did the Bicep Stock say anything about the Xbox registering as an Xbox controller? Because I didn't know if I had to do anything else.
That's
Did
what
they
it's
say
supposed to
anything?
register as an
It's
Xbox
supposed to.
controller.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
If
thinking
you're
maybe
sticking buttons,
plug it back in and see what happens.
You think so? Okay, because I mean, this
Yeah.
is a pretty stock PC. I haven't done anything or added any additional drivers for anything. So I think that does concern me a little bit. Maybe I didn't see an instruction to get it to work. It does work as a controller, just not as an Xbox controller like we advertised. But let's plug it out and plug it back in.
That's why I'm thinking that if you just unplug it, that it's just missing the Xbox driver.
So I'd have to just go download the Xbox driver?
No, it should download automatically when you plug in.
Yeah, it's saying controller Arduino micro still.
Do you have an Xbox controller in the house?
I probably do somewhere. Do you want me to go plug in a regular Xbox controller?
Yeah, see what happens when you do that.
Okay. All right. I will do that. And if all else fails, then we'll just do some basic mapping. And at least we'll be able to play some games. But talk about that whole Xbox input thing.
So the whole idea of this was that the encoder board was supposed to automatically output Xbox controls and automatically read as an Xbox controller from the moment of plugging it in. So that was the whole point of them doing the board and converting it this way, so that it could give out the Xbox control output when you're configuring your games, which will make everything basically universal to work. You can play PC games, you can play emulated games, your Technoparrots, your Demul, your N64s, your RetroArcs, all that would configure out with that.
So this is like a generic wireless Xbox controller, like that should work, you think?
I meant like a real one.
Oh, like a real one.
Yeah.
Not the big ones.
Well, let's see what happens when you map a button.
Yeah. Well, they both are registering as controller Arduino micros now.
Oh, that's weird.
What's that?
That's weird.
Yeah. So that's what it's registering as. That's kind of weird.
So unplug that controller so that you just got the one plugged in, because we don't want to confuse controls.
Correct.
When you're mapping, I'd say go right to MAME.
I'm really concerned in making sure that the pedals work, because when I plugged it in, I wanted to make sure that you said you had to calibrate them.
Yeah, you didn't do that yet. I'm sorry.
Correct. All right. So it doesn't say Xbox on here. Did it freeze?
No. Let me see if I can
there it
you
is.
guys.
Okay, there it goes. No, go away. I don't need to see that. Okay. So here it is. The wheel, if we go left and right, is working pretty well. We got buttons. So this is button number 8 is start. View is 2. This is 1 and 2. The view and the live are 1 and 2. Off and on. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. That was just the monitor. Okay, it'll start up in just a second. All right. Left and right are 3 and 7. The volume switch are 3 and 7. And then the shift knob is set to shift down is up and then shift up is down. So I might need to inverse those two. And then my pedals are not working right now. So let me double check. And you said that if we calibrate them, it should work, right? So we're going to go to the calibrate menu, go to next, hit that. And then we're going to calibrate our wheel from left to right. One thing you could also do is if you hit the display raw data, it'll kind of show you the pot range that's here. Wow, right. They have a good range on here. That's a very good range that's listed on here as well. So you're talking about dead zones and things like calibrating. This is the pot that's at its or whatever like it's registering as. It's a pretty long range. Okay, so that's the controller, Z-axis. No, that's not Z-axis. That's not that one.
Gas and brake should be Z.
It should be X and Z.
The gas and brake should be Z only.
Oh, okay. So I'm not getting my pedals working right now.
Did you plug in your pedals?
I did plug in my pedals. Maybe I gotta double check them though. This is why we don't plug things all the way and then figure out if you didn't unplug them. All right, back to the back.
Maybe your pedals are DOA. Well, hey, wait, do this. Buy Stuff Guy says that the actual name shouldn't matter. That's a good plus. But
Okay.
they're recommending us go to a gamepadtester.com to test out the buttons.
Yeah. Let me just double check my pedal connection settings because I think that's like step number 1. So checking in my wires.
This is actually good that this is happening too, so you guys can see the live troubleshooting of what could happen.
Yeah.
And you guys can figure out how to troubleshoot it too through watching this. So this is
Exactly.
actually perfect that this isn't working out correctly right now.
I just plugged in my pedals and I heard an extra click. I did not.
Yeah,
didn't press in my pedals all the way. So
yeah, the USB controller on the screen also flashed.
did it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me double check this now. All right. Look at that. That was absolutely user error. I had to like snap and press in the white connection in between the two things more. Okay, look. So when I'm pressing it, it's automatically going down, and it's almost like it's an all or nothing right now. So because I just calibrated, so I have to go back.
Perfectly normal.
What's that?
Perfectly normal. Mine did the same exact thing.
Well, let me actually reset it to default. I'm actually curious about what it sets that as default. So I just reset to default, and so when you are pressing it, it does have that range of motion.
Yep.
And then when you press the gas, so right now, gas is set to z-axis like negative.
Yep.
And then brake is set to z-axis positive. So it's almost like you have to do inverse controls for certain builds, right?
Just MAME. MAME, you just have to make sure that you do MAME. It registered as LT and RT. It registered as two separate buttons, but you got to make sure that it's negative, not positive.
So by default settings, the range on this works really well. Like even if I didn't calibrate this, turning it slightly to the left is registering really tightly. There's not like a lot of dead zone in this like initial area. So I mean, it's really tight without even. So I went back to stock, even though I calibrated. I just said reset to default settings, and in the default pedals, when I'm pressing it down, it's not going all the way. I guess it is going all the way 0. You just have to press it all the way down. It's actually really good without even having to do any calibration. So I mean, you probably could do it to get a little bit more accurate, but I'm liking that. I probably will need to look at the switches to get my button settings right. Like button 1 and 2 are good. I usually have like 7 and 8 set as my start and coin button. So the other thing that I didn't talk about,
you're doing Xbox now, so that doesn't matter. It's back and start.
It's what?
It's back and start.
It's back and start.
Just like an Xbox controller, back and start, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just telling you the principle. So like there's all these other buttons. There's buttons number 1 through 10 on here. So even though there's not 10 buttons on your control panel, they've actually made it so that if you wanted to drill extra buttons or add them on the side or do something else, you could install extra button functionality for some games that are there right now. So 7, so at least you have 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8 on the stock controllers, and then the viewpoint hat things. So in 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, those are buttons that are not on your stock Ridge Racer cabinet. So you could have the option of adding more buttons for functionality if you wanted to.
And if you really wanted to, you can mount another shifter to the side of that and plug it in USB.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready to play some games, man.
Let's do this.
I'm ready to go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go to my testing game is always Outrun 2. Like that's the game that I always just, if I'm doing a mod, I have to play Outrun 2. It's just
on TechnoParrot.
Yeah, on TechnoParrot. Like that's my jam. Gotta do it. All right, so TechnoParrot.
Have you ever beat level 1? I've never beat level 1.
That far? Probably not. Yeah, I play these things just for the kicks of it. I'm not like playing too crazy out here. Okay, so Outrun 2 is one of my favorite racing games that I play. I really play as well with the yoke, but these are all the racing games that I have on my build. But Outrun 2, game settings for use X input if it was an X input. Should we test it to see if it works?
Oh my god. Update your TechnoParrot.
No, I like my TechnoParrot. If it's not broke, don't
fix your TechnoParrot. What are you doing? What is this? TechnoParrot 2019?
Yeah, I don't know when I did this. It's like if it's not broke, don't fix it. 1.0.4. What are they on like now? Like something crazy?
Something crazy. You can output Outrun 2 in 4K now. So all right, yeah, go to your game setting and hit X input.
You know,
Oh my
I'm
God.
simple. I'm simple. Look at this. Like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna map my coin button. Let's just do it. Let's do it live. We're gonna map coin. We're gonna map the start button. I'm gonna do my wheel left. Look, I don't mind doing this. This is the manual way where you just press on things and you know it works. So here's the view change button, here's the shift up button, and here's the shift down button. Look, everything is mapped. It works, right?
It works.
Like it works. Like you don't need to do anything else. All right, here you go. Launch game. Let me hope it works. Ba-dum. I did mute this because we have the echo on the sharing sound, so we just won't see sound for the game.
Oh, we can't hear our favorite song?
It might just echo.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But you don't have to play it.
It might echo.
Yo, that song is dope though.
It is. It is. I have to mute one thing or the other if I did it. So
Maybe we should just sing it together while we're playing the game.
Some people are actually hyped to see that. Just hit update. No, Mike, I don't want to update it. Don't make me update my Ridge Racer or my Techno
Update your
Parrot.
fucking Techno Parrot.
It works. Look, there's nothing wrong with mapping it. It works, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay.
But it runs better now.
All right, let me do this.
And there's new games.
Okay. So I'm gonna mute us here.
Okay.
Can you hear it or no?
No.
You can't hear it?
No.
I have to mute my mic, and then maybe you'll hear it. All right, maybe I shouldn't just talk. Go.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything.
Sorry.
We got the beat.
There it is. I probably need to update the PC. It is feeling a little sluggish.
Oh wait, now we can hear it. I heard the wheels screeching.
Oh, my brake and gas are inverted though.
They're backwards?
So some of my techno settings.
Oh, wait, no, they should be negative.
Yeah. And then the
so you're pressing it and it's breaking? Or you're pressing it or you're not pressing it and that's when it's breaking?
Yeah, let's go back to our techno settings, double check. So I think I might have...
Does that ancient version have an inverted setting?
Yes, it does. Maybe I take off the full axis gas. Let me just take this all off. It's not ancient, it works, Joel.
It's ancient.
All right, so I took off full. Don't need to reverse it. Okay. We're in.
My version of Techno Parrot is so ancient it dreams in black and white.
Asshole.
Kong, aren't you like 40?
Close. I turned 39 this year, so creeping up.
Oh, we're the same age.
Yeah, you're 39?
39. Okay. Or I'm 38.
Yeah. All right, 83, baby.
Yeah, you're 84?
I'm an 83, baby. I just turned
83, baby. Okay, all right, you got a year on me.
Yeah. Yeah, show me respect. That's right. Still got some hair on my head. Yeah.
Well, at least you're not like Raymond Day. That dude looks like he's 45.
I know, he's a baby, right? All right, there we go. Now my gas pedal is actually selecting it. There it is. Okay, I turned off my sound. There it is. This is it. This is the game that I test on everything.
So we can hear the tires screeching, but we don't hear the music, which is weird.
There it is. Playing pretty well.
A little freezing on the screen, but we can see you on the top left.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It feels really good. Yeah. Here, let me change this up a little bit.
Ooh, look at that drift. Look at that drift. Yeah. Ooh, that drift. I love the drift in Outrun. It makes it move.
Yes. Oh, it's playing so well.
Oh, that's so sexy.
It feels really slick. So yeah, I mean, I just
Nice.
have to do direct input for everything just for right now, but I mean, it feels very smooth. The fact that you can play, this game with the stock controls.
Are you on direct input or are you on X input?
Direct input right now. So
Try doing it with X input.
no, I like my direct input. Don't
It's
force me to use
supposed to be an X input Adrenal board.
I know. Part
The
of me
next
is
game we
like,
map, you're doing X
I'm
input.
such an old fart, even when it comes to modding. Like, I know there's been new revelations to do things, but I'm like, it works.
You're
I
so
can
stubborn.
shift.
You're just stuck in your ways.
I'm still stuck in my ways. All right.
All right.
Hey, it
That's
worked. All right. And I apologize for the gameplay that's on screen because it's actually being streamed right now through the Wi-Fi versus I could have just gotten a capture card. That probably would have been much smarter to do, and it would have been a lot better. But there it is. Success, man. It took an hour and 26 minutes, but we played an actual game. Again, I would have to go through right now, unfortunately, because my entire build is set up through like direct input for mapping everything. I can do some universal controls, but I don't know. Do you have any extra tips on how I could switch it over?
no for Technoparrot. No, you just gotta go. You gotta go game for game on Technoparrot. That's the part that sucks.
No, but for like the whole X input thing that we're talking about, like, do I need to download the driver or something? Like, where do I need to go to download the driver? Just arcade, like download.
You don't need X input with that. It doesn't work with it.
Oh, it's not. No, I'm just
No.
talking about like the pedal and stuff because right now it's not registering like the way. For the
Yeah,
love of
no,
God, update it in
that Adrenal board
emulator.
didn't register an X output because it was an Xbox controller. So I don't
Yeah.
think it's compatible with it at all. But your pedal was registering just fine.
Yeah. Everything was registering fine. It's just not an automatic X input controller like we were saying. So people are saying, "Well done. Put your microphone to the speaker."
Let's find out. Go to your MAME
Okay.
and let's see what it registers as when you hit a MAME key.
Okay. That I can do. So my favorite emulator or front end of choice is Launchbox. I'm still also very old fogey. I've not tested your great Batosera and MU-ELEC Android boxes. I'm like, I like my PC, I like my Android box, or no, like I like my Launchbox, and sticking to it. Okay.
I love Launchbox.
Yes, I do too. All right, here's Cruisin. Let's double check Cruisin. You want me to just open it up and then run MAME and see like?
No, go. MAME's a global input, man. You don't have to go game for game.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just lazy. I want to just check it out really fast.
Oh my God, what are you doing? My modding soul is killing me.
Game full game.
Just fucking do it once, man.
You just do it once?
Just do it once.
All right. But so I can get some a little bit more high quality gameplay. Let me go grab my capture card. It'll take me like 2 seconds to grab while you convince the chat why I need to be on X input.
Okay, what he was just about to do, don't do that. Don't go game for game and MAME. Just go to the MAME 64 emulator and map your controls, and then it's global for every MAME game. You don't have to go game for game like that. This isn't RetroPie. That's not how that works, man. Oh my God. I can't believe he was about to do that. And make sure you update your Technoparrot. If you're using Technoparrot, it's perfectly fine. You're not going to break it. Technoparrot's been updating a lot lately, and they've been doing a lot of improvements on it through those Russian techno gods. Those dudes are nuts. So make sure you update your Technoparrot. Outrun 2 can run in 4K now. You can change the resolution on it. It's amazing. And it killed that sun effect when you're going around the turns and the sun's in your face. It completely took that effect away.
All right, so you're telling people how terrible of a modder I am because I still like sticking with my old stuff, right? Is that what it is?
No, I was telling people don't go game for game in MAME on Windows.
I heard you talk shit about me. Don't worry. I heard that. I'm kidding. All right, so here's my little mini capture card. I'm going to plug this in. That way we can get a little bit higher, better quality resolution. And we won't have feedback, so let me do that. 2 seconds.
What kind of capture card are you using? What's the brand?
This is a generic one that...
The Bobby Voo special?
Nothing special. AGP Tech. I do have a... whatchamacallit, an Elgato stream capture one for something else, but this one...
Ooh.
I do not. Oh man, I don't even know if this is like USB 3.0. These computers don't even have those, so it might be underpowered, but we'll see. We'll see. It popped up. Okay, there it popped up. All right, we're back in. We're back in. We're back in. Give me a second. And settings. And camera. Oh, it's not detecting the camera. Oh wait, there it goes. Let me StreamYard this one more time. Is this fun? Are we still on? We have over 200 people in the chat. This is crazy.
How can you tell how many people got in the chat?
Yeah. For me, I can see it on my end because I'm an admin. But if you go to YouTube, you should be able to see how many people are watching right now too. Yeah. Okay. Let me hit the reload button and see what happens. All right. Allow.
Dubai
Oh,
stuff
there
guys
it is.
really want you to try this gamepad tester thing, and then you can test Rumble with it too.
Okay. There it is. Boom. Okay. Now we have a better version of Capture that is live and will
That's
not.
nice.
Okay. All right, cool. So now we've captured. This is more of a capture card device now. And tell me what I'm supposed to do now. I'm supposed to go to the actual MAME emulator and then go to the universal controls.
Yeah, go to configure options.
Configure.
General inputs.
Player one. And then do you do these here too? And then, or do I just go down to the driving controls?
You don't need to do button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. Just go down.
I should do 1, 2, 3, 4. Should I though?
Skip those. Let's start with the main ones first.
Fine. All right.
Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up.
Yep, that's there.
You got to start and select up there. You got to hit too.
Oh, start and select.
Yeah.
Oh, to start and select. Oh, right after.
Yeah, we got to do it in 2 different spots. This is one of them. Oh. It's button number, I think, like 17 or it's right underneath 17 or 18.
Okay, there it is. Okay, here's start.
Which you already have set to
start and back.
Yeah, you already have that set.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine if it's mapped twice. It's not going to hurt it.
Start. And then what's back?
Back is your coin.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, that's 7. Okay, so maybe it is registering as an X input controller already.
Looks like it. It might just be the name.
Yeah.
We're going to find out as soon as you hit this pedal.
So Joy 1 RSX is already there.
Pedal 1 analog.
Yeah, pedal 1 analog is RSX. Pedal 2 analog.
No, you don't want that as RSX.
You don't?
No, it should say pedal RT 1. And LT.
Press. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I pressed it and it went RT. Okay, so mapping analog pedal is Joy 1 RT.
But hang on. Go back. Slow down, Turbo. Go back to pedal 1 analog.
Yeah.
It's got to be RT negative.
RT negative. I can't just press it.
Go back and map it again.
Okay. Do I have to hold it down?
No, just press it. Press it. Now do it again. Don't hit escape. Just hit enter.
Okay.
Press the button.
I'm pressing the pedal, right?
Yeah. Now hit enter again.
Enter.
Pedal.
And then let go?
Press the pedal. You don't got to hold it.
Oh, it went RT plus.
Yes. Now do it again. You don't have to hold it. Just press it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm teaching B Kong how to use pedals.
No, thank you. I'm so dumb, right? Everybody can do this,
no,
right?
do the same thing.
Here's the thing about YouTube. Just because you have a YouTube channel doesn't mean you know how to do stuff. People ask me all this shit all the time. Go ask me. You don't know how many people message me and I say, go to Joel Retro Lizard. I refer to you all the time because Joel does this all the time. I don't do the mapping. I do it one time and then I like my old ways, man. I like my old ways. All right, pedal 2.
Same thing.
It just says LT though. Wait,
you got to do it 3 times.
You have to do it 3 times?
Yeah, you're not done. Slow down, Turbo.
Why do you have to do it 3 times? To get to negative? You have to do
got to get to negative, yeah.
What? Oh, and it got rid of my other one. Okay.
See, you fucked it up.
Oh, wait, I'm pressing the wrong one. Okay, all right. Stick with me, guys. Stick with me. All right, press it. Oh, you have to press it 3. Oh, okay. Is there you
got to do your steering wheel too.
All right. Charge plus. RT negative. Okay, I got it.
Do your
And then
steering wheel.
paddle. Same thing?
Yep.
Should it just
Perfect.
be LSX though, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. All right. So RT minus, LT minus.
Now press escape.
Okay.
Now go to other controls.
Yep.
Do your start and your coin. Well, actually, you don't have to. It's done. You already did it.
Yeah. Those are already done.
Press
Already
escape,
good.
save configuration.
Yep.
Okay. Now I want
Okay.
to show you a trick. Go to the return previous menu.
Okay.
And exit. Now I want you to go to your MAME folder.
My main folder. All right. Look at the buy stuff guys. They're like good tips here for everyone at least, right? We can all watch be fumble through this shit, right?
Yeah, right. Now go to your MAME folder.
What version of MAME I'm on right now? Like what version of MAME?
No, that doesn't matter. I don't care about that.
I know people are like MAME 227, 228 type.
Who cares? It's MAME. It works. Like you said. Why do I gotta update TechnoParrot? That shit works.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, now wait, go back up.
Okay.
Go to your CFG.
Okay.
Go to the one that says defaults.
All right. Yep.
Right click it. Go to properties.
Properties.
Click read only.
Read only.
Click apply.
Okay, what does that do?
You just locked your MAME controls.
So nobody can F it up?
Nobody can F it up. Now, anybody who plugs in that Adreno board to anything with that build will register automatically.
Oh, tips of the trade. Here you go. Right. You can tell that Joel is a father. Look at that patience, right?
He's never seen me with my kids. I got no fucking patience with them.
This is why people like this GC is using a generic driver signature, make it that way. If you're ever playing an Xbox before, it'll make the generic name as Xbox. So if I have to maybe, like you said, plug in an Xbox controller first.
Yeah, you probably need the real deal. All right, now every MAME game is gonna work.
All right, Cruisin USA, we ready? We ready? All right.
Boom.
Boom. All right.
Dragon Gamer, we just showed the world on how to make that plug and play.
Yeah, I am optimistic. Look at this. This is the wheel. This is me playing.
Hit your coin.
There it is. Okay, the coin is right now right value. Okay, look, credits are going up. Credits are going up. Hitting the start button now. We got cruising. Look, let's spring back to centers, dude. Let's cruise the whole USA. I press the start button. We do automatic because I'm lazy like that. All right. What's the trick to get the other car?
Turn the wheel.
What's that?
Oh, the other cars, the hidden ones?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know on the arcade.
Yeah, I think you have to like do shifter or something. Oh, hold start. I think it's I think that the chat will tell me. Look how slow this is. Look how sluggish this is. I think my build.
You probably gotta update your G-force.
What's that?
You probably gotta update your G-force.
Oh, right now. Oh, and then right now it's inverse right now because it's playing without me pressing anything. So I gotta go to my. Is that game for game? Because I have my analog inverse now.
We can fix that. Hit the exit out of here.
Okay.
Go back to your MAME folder.
Okay. MAME folder?
Yeah.
All right. This is fun. You guys didn't know that you're going to just be sitting here watching me, Joel, teach me how to use MAME. All right.
Go to the CFG folder.
A what?
The CFG.
Yep. Do I go back to default?
No. Delete everything except for default.
Delete everything except for default. Okay. But I did so much work with these, bro.
Copy them and put them into a folder.
That's okay. Oh, that's true. It's a good idea. Before you make any changes, right? Always make a backup.
Yep.
That's why I actually have a folder in here called CFG backup. But, you know. This will probably be tweaked at any point in time anyways. All right. Everything in here is going to be deleted except for my default. All right. Recycling 1,300 items on here. You
Jesus
thought it was
Christ.
the view buttons. Yeah, that this isn't easy. I see. Mapping.
No,
If you
the
get
issue
dual
is
kill,
that
yeah,
the issue that you're having is that B had individual games mapped. So each
yeah,
one of those CFG files were the configurations for those individual mappings. So your
yeah,
global mapping is being interfered with those mappings that you had.
yeah. So
So
and
now
Brian
it should work.
confirmed. What's that?
Now your pedals shouldn't be inverted. You should work.
Oh, okay, because everything there's only default settings. Okay. All right, let's test it out again. This slow ass cruising machine, because I probably have something that's not updated. B has the NVIDIA drivers from the day the card was released because it works. Ah, this is
You
what
gotta
happens when
yeah.
you do live modding sessions. You subject yourself to um, you know, community harassment for not actually updating stuff the way it's supposed to. It does actually feel like it's running a little bit faster. Oh, hold the view button. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Ooh,
Yeah. And
there
I
was a
think
way
you're
to
right.
turn those on too. The lights.
Oh yeah?
I think there's a
Yeah.
horn button.
Oh, look at this. The view button is set to go. And there it is.
There's your pedals.
There's my pedals. There's the music. And there's just a very, very not great working version of Cruisin USA, unfortunately. Unfortunately, where's my volume? Yeah, and my view button wasn't working that well. So I didn't promise great emulation. I just promised that I would actually mod it and make it work.
You're probably gotta update your graphics card. That's all, man. You gotta update your
Yeah, I'm
driver.
using a GTX.
We don't have time for that though. That's gonna take fucking 15 minutes to do that.
All right, let's go off road. Somebody wanted off road, right? What else do you want on here?
Off road from Jason Craig. He's asking for that. Let's start doing some game requests. Put some game requests in here. Somebody also wanted to see Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter we can do. Yes. Okay.
Spy Hunter, we might have to adjust the configuration for that because the pressing up is what made the car go. So you might have to change your pedals to the up button.
Okay. All right.
Somebody also wants to see H2 overdrive, pole position. Keep in mind, pole position, off-road, those are spinner type games where those wheels just keep spinning and spinning and spinning. So playing a game like this is going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, you just have to be
he's
very.
a red car and
You
he's
can
all
always
over the road.
tweak your settings a little bit if you wanted to per game too, probably. But yeah, the default settings now, at least we're decent with Outrun 2 for sure. And we saw original thing. Oh, you know what I should try playing? I should try playing Ridge Racer, huh? To make sure the original game works. Because that would be key. People don't want to mod a machine and not have the actual original games work. But yeah, here's
San Francisco Rush on there?
I do not have Rush on this build. I have like an N64 version of it on here.
What? That's fucking blasphemy.
Stop judging me, all right? I started doing this 2 years ago when you weren't doing mods yet, brah. So judgy right now, so judgy. All right, so we had Spy Hunter. Somebody wanted to see Spy Hunter too?
Yeah.
So I have a special ride and shoot playlist that I put together. So
I love Stun Runner.
Oh, Stun Runner, yes.
Love that game.
Spy Hunter. Let's see how Spy Hunter runs on here. Oh, and I just realized that the Ridge Racer does not have a turbo button on the throttle, so you lose a button here too, because the Ridge. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. That's coin. Press start. Let's see how Spy Hunter works.
You might have to adjust the settings on this one.
Yeah, we'll see. And then I don't have like any like trigger buttons to like press though. So if I was playing this on my other game, oh no, it works fine. It works perfectly.
Nice.
I just don't have that's the thing. Where's my? I need a shooting button.
Might be try pushing the pedal up or the shifter. Try using the shifter. No.
Nope.
See, that's where. All right. So we might have to adjust the setting there.
Yeah, we'd have to map a shooting button for games that like have stuff like that. And so all that you would do is go into tab, go to this game's controls, and then like there's no like left trigger missile. Machine guns is none right now. So let's just map this to that button.
No, use your shifter. Shift it to up.
Oh, okay.
Then you can just hold the wheel and hold up and just lay it into it.
Okay, Dad. All right.
I'm not.
All right.
Just making suggestions. Don't yell at me.
All right. Look. All right. Go. Go. Do I have to press the button? Oh, I have to press start? Oh, there it is. Okay. See, you made me crash, Dad. Dude. All right, here we go. Up. Oh, yeah. See, look. Shoot.
Nice.
There it is. Dun, dun. Sorry, I'm not getting the sound on here because we're streaming things and didn't really plan for that. But
You're
yes.
controlling that pretty nicely, though.
Yeah, right. I mean, it feels really pretty simple. Like the control back to center. I haven't been messing with any of the rumble features, so there's just a lot you can do with emulation. There's always the basics, but if I wanted to try to like mess with the rumble settings, I definitely will be looking at the force feedback plugin to see if it like actually registers as anything. But yeah, this is pretty good. So we have Spy Hunter on here. That worked. Normally what I would do, what do you use to exit? Because right now I'm using my keyboard to exit everything. What do you map to your exit button when you're playing stuff?
I usually have a dedicated escape button on my build, but with this one, I mapped the start and the view button in Big Box. I double mapped it together.
Well, when you press those two buttons together in Big Box, it'll exit the game. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's different ways to do that where you can hotkey an exit button too.
Yep.
All right, let's do a few more. Put it into chat. I'm gonna do Ridge Racer just to double check. I think that's fun. Oh, we should do some Daytona too, right? Like Model 2, do we have to manually map that?
Yeah, if you're not already mapped as an Xbox, yeah.
Oh, I'm not mapped as an Xbox. You know that, right? Let's see. Do I have
Ridge Racer? Go up, 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 up.
Did I miss it?
Up, 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 up,
oh, it was a regular name.
Ridge Racer.
Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. Let's just make sure Ridge Racer works because, you know, you got to have the title game still working. If you ever do a mod on a cabinet, that's always the number one question. Can you play the original games? And by golly, yes, I love the little shaders I had on this. You know, the reason why I never changed the main version that I had, because I really like the settings for this build that I found. And then I found out eventually how to convert this to the latest version and keep it. But, you know, I was dumb at the time. And I was just like, I just like the way it looks. I don't care about updating it. If it works, right?
All right.
Novice. Here we go.
That's kind of what it is when it comes to building. If it works, it works. Don't fuck with it.
Exactly. You know, you don't have to have the latest and greatest. But yeah, gas pedal is working beautifully. Looking great. Yeah, it works. Super good. Is
the view button changing the view?
The view button doesn't work for original Rage Racer.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's only Rave Racer that has a view button. But yeah, you can play original Ridge Racer. Okay, good. That works. It's good. Okay, so let's do a Model 2 game. The Model 2 we have to manually map, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Daytona.
You have to do that outside of Launchbox, so you got to go to your Model 2 emulator.
Yeah, I know. I know how to get there. I know how to do some things. Give me some credit, bro. All right, so we are launching Daytona. Oh, I didn't save though.
No.
I probably have to open it from here.
You got to launch it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which version is this? Special edition. Okay.
That's
game.
Configure. Says special edition.
All right. So here I would just go into the steering and map this. It works. That's good. That's x-axis. That's registering. Accelerate. X joy 1 rotation. That's not it. It's was it z-axis?
No.
Yeah. It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Z-axis. I don't know if it's inverted or not though. I'm gonna say
there should be an option for one. I was gonna say we got to double check to make sure that X input is enabled in Model 2, but you should have an option for the trigger.
I'm all doing this manually. You said there's a way to do X input in Model 2.
In Model 2, in the INI file, you have to enable the X input.
Okay.
By changing the number on it, and then you should have an option for RT and LT, or left trigger, right trigger.
I see.
Because I think these are just going to be the direct inputs.
Is doing direct input here? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
You think so? All right.
We'll find out once you get it into it. You got to make sure you change your coin in your start, but we'll find out once you get into the game.
Z-axis. This is going up, so maybe that's not inverted. Okay.
Who cares about brakes? Who uses brakes?
Who uses brakes? All right, so let's do start That's button, is that button 7 already? Okay, so I'm gonna change it where start is this start, and then this coin is this one. I think I inversed it last time. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Give it a shot.
Close. Video full screen. Do 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 do.
Daytona.
No work. Oh, okay. All right, my brake. Maybe my brake is my gas. Okay, I did it the wrong way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I suggested to enable X input.
Don't do it the B Kong way, is what you're trying to say. Exactly what you're trying to say. You're trying to shame me for doing my direct input. All right, holding down the button, and I am flying all over the place. I am not going the right way.
He's doing donuts like he's Dale Trickle.
Oh, look. Oh, I'm pressing the gas button. It's actually working, though. So I'm holding down gas, and it's going up. That's a good sign.
Good signs.
Yeah, I'm the control-wise, it's working pretty well. I did not map a view button. Well, I pressed the view button once, but it just went to that mode. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you feel any rumble?
What's that?
Do you feel it rumbling?
Not feel any rumble. Should that happen automatically?
If you have it enabled. Which you probably don't, because you didn't even know about the INI file.
I probably do not have.
I'm not shaming you, I swear.
You are totally shaming me. You're like,
it totally sounds like it is, but I'm not. I'm just asking questions, and I'm like, no.
You're like emulated shaming me right now. You're mod shaming me. But yeah, so Daytona is working pretty well. Thanks, man, for mod shaming me live in front of 200 people.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to mod shame you.
All right, that's all good. Where the hell is Quack? That's what I want to know. It's Friday night.
Man, he's not even responding to my text messages.
Damn that guy. All right, well, we did it. We did Daytona. We did Outrun 2. We did Spy Hunter. We did some classic games. I feel like this is a win, right? Getting late. Thank you all so much for joining. If you guys got a bail, I know it's been super fun. We're almost hitting the 2-hour mark. I think this is a successful mod. So I think folks, hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing how easy it was to do the 5-minute plugging in the buttons. That will be the easiest part. It's pretty much figuring out everything else on the back end to see what system you're going to use. I do not recommend the Kong Zeros Racecade. So if you're watching this video, do not ask for this build because you can tell it's not pre-mapped to all this stuff. If you do get it and try to use it, Joel Gorski will mod shame you and say, why are you using that ancient ass build using an old version of Technopaired and MAME? Why aren't you using X input and using this beautiful build that you can get from RetroLizardsArcades.com? So he will shame you if you ask for this particular build. So I will not be offering this build. I did hear that Kwok Lee, if you know the guy, might be making something he's offering up, or if you want something that's pre-mapped, are you going to offer some things for this in addition to the buy stuff, guys?
I already do. It's already on my website. Yep, everything. I got the PCs ready to go. I got kits ready to go. Once Buy Stuff has the encoders for sale, I'll make sure that I have encoder kits to go with it. Yeah. It'll be the same price as the Star Wars mod on my website. But if you're looking for a racing PC, they're already on my website, ready to go.
Yeah.
So all PCs are an 8-week build, though. I'm a one-man show. I take 8 weeks to do PCs to send them off. Yeah. Sometimes just a little bit longer. It's quality over speed. I'm not always at that 8-week mark. Sometimes I'll take 9. Sometimes I'll take 10. Just depends on what I got going on, guys. Yeah. How many people are left in the chat?
About 189 people. So close to 200 are staying up this late with us. And have you ever used LED Blinky? This person was asking.
I have, and that's a pain in the ass. Oh God, was that a pain in the ass? I mean, it's if you're doing it on a personal build, you will be sitting there for a while doing it. Me doing it for people, I'm not going to offer that. I did it on a just a pedestal golden tee with 50 main games, nothing crazy at all. Yeah. And you have to go game for game.
Yeah.
To set the LED Blinky. That was tough. It's worth it if you're doing it on personal. But it was a difficult thing to play around with, or can become difficult, I should say, to play around with. It wasn't that easy. My RGB buttons too. I think they had glitches in them. One of my RGB buttons wouldn't light up certain colors, and I don't know if it was because I'm a novice at it or what. But it's be aware of that when you get those RGB buttons, because those things are $7 a piece.
All right, somebody asked for MarioKart DX. I think it's the final one, so I'll see if that runs last time. I still like mapping things. Like, for me, I think it's you said you had 190 games that are working. I think I have like 135 on this build. And, I feel confident, like I've tested all of them, right? So when I
Yeah.
do direct mapping and things, I know it worked with my particular build. So, for folks that still want a plug and play solution, it actually is decent to learn to map it and know that it works, right? Like I'll play these games just to make sure they work at least once and maybe try it out a little bit. I'm not like diving super deep into these things. But yeah, I feel like that's just one thing that I highly recommend for other folks to do is to don't be afraid to mod, right? Don't
Right.
be afraid to you watch what I did. I effed up a few times. We figured it out. We troubleshoot it. Like modding is half the fun in this hobby for me, which is one of the reasons why I'm so excited to do this. And you could always revert back to stock. Somebody was saying, the Team Encoder mod might be easier for noobs and people that want to keep the control stock, like Michael B or somebody like that. But
Technically,
yeah,
your
for folks
controls are
that
still stock.
they are. But like they don't want to mess with a lot of the other stuff and they want to keep the PCB. So I think I will be
You know,
testing out some soft mod options when they come out. But we are successed.
you,
Man, it's 1:24 p.m. in Australia. P-Dub says congrats, a great video. Is initial D packs possible? Yeah, I do have initial D on
yeah,
this build. That I
those are
do.
Techno Parrot games.
Yeah. Can you get a computer and a racing build? How much would that cost? And an Xbox 360 will you got me interested? You do PC
The
builds directly, right?
My PC bills are $1,000. That's
Yeah.
shipped. And
Shipped.
that includes $1,000 shipped. That includes the 1050 Ti. Those are the 1080p PCs. And that includes my
Yeah.
190 games that are on it, pre-mapped for the Xbox controller. You
Yeah.
want 4K? It's going to cost you $2,000, but you're getting games with it, and I'm building it for you. And then I team view in when you get it, and I remote set it up with you when you're ready to go on your cabs. So retrolizardcustomarcades.com, and I
It's
better
gonna
have
be for
189 new
exclusive from
subscribers
Japan.
after this video.
Please check out Joel's YouTube channel and subscribe to this guy. He's been killing it lately. And yeah, we're excited. So this is it, MarioKart DX. The final thing, press the item button to go. I think I set this up to go. Yeah.
I believe
Man.
they fixed this too on Techno Parrot, because remember how you would play it and it kind of feels like it almost running slow?
Mm-hmm.
Like Mario doesn't drive as fast as you would feel that he should be. I was playing it the other day on my Mario Kart one that I just built, and he was running at full speed on Techno Parrot.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm using a really janky version that doesn't have the whole screen on here, but you
That's
know,
okay.
that it works. It does the, stretching from a 16:9 into a 4:3. So it's actually kind of cool that it's still full screen.
This is a soft mod. It's a soft run right now. Is what you're
Yeah.
doing. So you can fine tune your stuff later. Like B said, don't be afraid to mod. Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
build. Don't be afraid to configure. You can do. Everyone in the chat can do this. You
I
don't.
agree.
I don't want to kill my sales, but you don't need somebody to do it for you. You can do it yourself if you wanted
And
to.
and final plug, I mean, the people that made this all happen, the Buy Stuff Store guys, I
Oh
did
my
leave a
god.
link to their website right now for the Yoke and Wheel gaming box. And it's so I don't think they have this on their website for order currently, right? So
Not yet. No.
did they say or tell you when it's going to be available for folks that were interested in this?
I think they're hoping 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Could be a little bit less. They're going to put up pre-orders next week. So we
Yeah.
got Buy Stuff has a Facebook group. Go on Facebook and join the Buy Stuff Arcades Facebook group, or Buy
Yeah.
Stuff just search Buy Stuff in general Facebook group, and keep an eye out for their posts for when they're going to be putting stuff up for sale. I post in there too, and I have things that are ready to order for people also. The race, if you want the racers, I have the racers that go up for sale every 3 months. I take orders. I still currently have some open orders that I can take right now if people are looking for actual racers too. But go to their Buy Stuff group and follow them. Follow that group for their posts. We're going to be seeing a post sometime next week when those are going to be going up for pre-orders. These are going to be, and those are going to, I believe it's going to be the kit and the Adreno board on its own. So you can
Nice.
get either one.
Did they say, and if you guys didn't see this video, I actually did put in the, this is a somewhat of a paid advertisement because the Buy Stuff scores, only me, Joel, and Quack have these boards and they shipped this to me and all I had to do was just pay for shipping. So thank you to the Buy Stuff guys for, allowing me to help test this and go through this process. So this is a quote unquote paid sponsorship video because they offered some product, but man, I am really, really happy with this, Joel. Anything that you think they can improve upon in terms of the product itself?
I don't know. I think the product, I think it was perfect. I felt it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that it plays right now? Do you feel that it's almost the perfect board that you just plugged in?
Yeah, the controls itself, I'm really impressed with the quality of the controls and how they've registered the input. Like when I had the Geek Pie, I really had to tweak some of the pedal settings, and I always had issues getting it to work right because it was never designed to do that. Like this was designed to be a pedal, and when you're pressing it, you can tell that the time has been set there. So I'm really impressed with the controls so
It,
far. You know, the test will be in the long term kind of plug and play folks for whatever build they use and how easy you try to make it. So I would recommend even they put together their own Android box version of a racing kit. So if you don't want to mess around with Joel or myself and do it your own, like go straight to the guys. They will have
yeah,
something that works with their PCB that you can test out immediately. So you can see some MarioKart DX gameplay. Yeah, I think the only other thing that I could suggest is possibly for the kit doing that audio thing that I did. Buy Stuff Arcade says, thanks, B. Pre-orders will open later next week. We'll have all the various options. Like, I think some people will want to use the stock speaker sounds like I did. And so whether or not you include the LVDS and come up with some solution for people to use the stock speakers, I'll be happy to share a video with you guys to see how I wired that up. But I feel like you guys could offer that little thing in the kit and then tell people to buy the LVDS, and they can use stock speakers until they upgrade to, computer speakers or something else. But all right. I think that's it. I think we're all done. The encoder board will work with Outrun. I believe I probably will test this with Outrun as well, but I think it should work pretty much. You won't have the rumble feature, the little button to input anything, but I think this will work almost exactly the same with Outrun.
I believe it does. The guys, I believe, said that it does.
Yeah. H2
Yeah.
Overdrive. Great stream. Learned a lot. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be able to set this up Outrun. Yes. So we answered that. You will be able to do an Outrun. Maybe I'll do a full tutorial on this in case people want to buy stuff, folks. Let me know if there's any changes that you might see to how I would do this. But that's it. Joel, last plug. Final plug for you.
I better have 189 new subscribers, guys.
Thank you
My
so
YouTube
much.
channel is Retro Lizard.
Yeah.
My Facebook page is Retro Lizard Custom Arcades. If you want to follow my business page, my website is retrolizardcustomarcades.com. I appreciate everybody in the community. People in this chat have bought for me. I appreciate everybody that's in here and the support that everybody does. And B, fucking love you, man. Fucking love you. B Kong is my bae. Simple as that.
Yeah. Thank you for shoving away all the kids that are going to be watching this later on. Thank you, Joel, for
You're welcome.
making my channel not really